back to Evergreen RC and back to the build series for the SCX 24 Gladiator. This thing is turning out pretty sweet. I think what we're gonna do next is just take it on that course that I gave you a sneak preview for and let it run around that for a little bit before we start putting on more upgrades. But then we'll pick our next upgrade that we want to do and we'll throw it on there. It's probably going to be the skid plate, motor, and transmission all at the same time because they kind of all go together. The motor and transmission bolt together, and that bolts to the skid plate, and then it goes into the Gladiator. So we'll probably do that, and then do a couple visual upgrades, and then the last thing we'll probably do is upgrade those axles when they get here. All right, we got the skid plate out of Big Red, and we got this Endura motor and transmission bolted up to it, and we're getting ready to throw it in the Gladiator. Take out that stock motor and transmission and skid plate. But this is an amazing upgrade for when you get a lot of weight and you really want more power, torque, low end torque, and to crawl a lot slower with all that weight. This is really the way to go if you're not trying to like break the bank for upgraded motor and transmission for higher torque and low end crawl. But we're going to put this in and you're really going to be able to tell the difference. It's a lot. I love this little combo. I got it in my Bronco, fully custom, but that thing's pretty bad, little SCX 24. But I think this Gladiator might top it after everything I get done doing to it. Well, let's get this thrown in there and show you how it runs. So I know I haven't really done many videos of the actual upgrading of the parts and taking it apart and putting it back together because I really don't have the cameras and stuff to be able to do that yet. But I wanted to show you this. Once you get your motor and transmission bolted up to your new aftermarket skid plate, if you choose to do it like this, all you really have to do is unplug your motor from your ESC and then just take out the bolts from your links and then the two bolts mounting the skid plate to the frame. And then this whole section will pull out. You can just take your links and flip them back towards your axles on both sides. And then this will all slide out with the motor and everything. And then you can put the new motor and transmission in and let it set into the little snap grooves that it has in there for the skid plate to the frame. And then bolt the skid plate to the frame and then start doing up your links. It makes it a lot easier than just trying to go and figure out how to do it without ever doing it before. Because the first time I did it was just kind of a pain in the butt to do. But if you just flip it upside down like this, open your shell up and set it on something which lets you open it up as far as you can. The Gladiator opens up further than any of the other ones besides maybe the Deadbolt. They're about the same. But yeah, just makes it a lot easier if you just flip it upside down like this and just take out the 8 bolts on either side, or 6 on either side, 12 altogether. Flip your links towards your axles and then pull the skid plate, motor, and transmission all out together and put the new one in and reverse what you did. Makes it a lot easier to do. So this is kind of what you're going to be looking like once you get the links out and you pull the skid plate out. Looking real empty. My links are flipped back. The links are flipped up. You will have to take the drive shafts off and bolt them up to this, but then it's just going to slip right back in, and then you just start putting each bolt back in on either side. Pretty simple, but I feel it's the easiest way to do it without a major headache. Alright, here we go. We got the drive shaft's all bolted on, and now it's pretty much just gonna go and sit right back down there. You'll snap it back into the frame and start bolting it all back up. But this is one of the best and funnest upgrades to do to these things, I think, just because it's a lot of intricate workings in the transmission and everything. It's really simple to do, but it's just fun. I like doing it. Probably going to do it to a lot more of these other cars because a lot of them are all running on stock motors like the Deadbolt is, but it's just fine the way it is. It actually has a Bronco front end on, and I took the short links from the Deadbolt front end and switched them out with the Bronco links. Makes it amazing. And then it has the servo and steering linkage, those spacers and wheels and tires, and that's it. And it is a beast and rages the entire course. And then Big Red doesn't have upgraded motor either. It has an upgraded servo. All of them do. It's just something I like to do to them. But I think the only ones with upgraded motors right now are Black Betty, Blue, and then my friend Thor's Jeep. They all have the Enduro Pro motors in them. Yeah, let's get this bolted in and go do some crawling. This skid plate, motor, and transmission combo to bolt in, I had to disconnect the battery tray and lift it up. And I think we're going to have to cut off just this little corner right here, just to clear that. And then it'll be able to go back down and bolt back up properly. It's just because the battery tray is different in this one than the other one, so I didn't know that was going to be an issue. So, I mean, it's not really an issue. All of these I trim parts and make parts and use different parts for, usually in the end, to get what I want. But, yeah, I just take a pair of clippers that I like to use for cutting this stuff. I'm just going to cut it here and then cut it right there. Just like so. And like so. Get that all cut off, and then that'll clear and bolt right back down. Easy as that. And here we are. We got the motor and transmission sitting all in there. The battery's still sitting flush. Nothing really interferes. All we had to do was trim the corner off that battery tray, and everything else bolted up flawlessly. Let's go ahead and turn her on. Ooh. These cords, new wires don't have any memory yet, so we got to get them to smush down a little bit. There we go. Move some of this stuff out of the way real quick. Piece of that servo that I cut off. Oh yeah. Alright, here we got a little bit of a slow crawl to show you. Sorry for the messy background. I'm always working on stuff. I got parts everywhere all the time. But got a pretty high torque little slow crawl. But it's pretty good. I think the next video we're gonna show is of it tackling the little sneak preview of that course you saw, but come and open up the other side of that course and it's going to be a lot more than you guys think it is. I hope you guys are excited, and I hope you guys really enjoy what's coming up next on the channel. Okay, so I decided to do one last run on these little desktop obstacles that I made, just to really show you the advantages of this motor and transmission combo, because everything so far is comparable to what it's been. And then right after this, we're gonna probably put some visual upgrades on it, and then we'll take it out to that course I gave you a sneak preview of. But here's the 6th run now with the SCX 24 Gladiator, the 6 setup upgrades. See, it's just so slow and creeps so nice, and doesn't lose torque when it's going slow up these steep inclines and crawling over stuff. Just so much better, and just works so much more flawlessly than it did before. Sounds a lot better. I mean, it still has servo whine and stuff, but just that transmission and everything just sounds so much better, and it's so smooth. It just goes over everything with ease. Oh, a little hang up there. Oh, we'll take a little detour. But yeah, you've seen it was a lot different. It makes a big difference doing that motor and transmission upgrade. And it just looks so good in there too. Like, you don't really ever see it, but you'll see it if you're really looking at it. It's pretty sweet. Love the Endura parts and the Trio parts. They're just really high quality and direct fit, and really never have any issues with them. They're great.